The 10 most amazing trees in the world. Trees have been around for 385 million years. An integral part of the terrestrial ecosystem, trees are any woody plant living for more than 2 years that support branches via a trunk. You've probably seen one or two in your time. Trees also provide habitation for a plethora of other species, ranging from mosses and insects to parasitic poison ivy and primates. Yes, even we benefit from a nice tree. Not only are they one of the best carbon sinks we know, but trees have been a major source of inspiration and wonder in human societies ever since we first climbed down from one all those years ago. Let's take a look at 10 of the most amazing trees in the world. Number 10. Baobab trees in Madagascar. The baobab can be found in Africa, Australia and India, but it is also the national tree of Madagascar. Towering between 5 and 30 meters into the heavens, it's easy to see why this tree often goes by the name the Tree of Life. The baobab is exactly that, being absolutely crucial for life on the savanna. The enormous trunk of a baobab can hold 120,000 liters of water. And the fruit of this behemoth is incredibly nutritious. Monkey bread is a coconut-shaped bundle of vitamin C, with a flavor likened to a cross between a grapefruit, pear and fresh vanilla. For countless generations, people and animals have relied upon the produce and shelter of the Tree of Life. So there's no wonder that the beauty isn't lost on us. Number 9. Windswept trees in New Zealand. Harsh and unrelenting winds coursing north from Antarctica. More than just an excuse for a cardigan, this natural phenomenon has completely altered the landscape of Slope Point on New Zealand's southern island. With no roads to this corner of the planet, expect to follow several rustic yellow signs to a landscape unlike any other. As if frozen in time, these trees face an uphill battle during maturation. Constant battery by the wind causes them to grow slanted north. These trees aren't all one specific species, but the environmental factors that only exist here give rise to this tremendously unique beauty. Number 8. Dragonblood trees, Yemen. Oozing with blood-red sap and peppering the open shrublands of the Arabian Sea region, it's easy to see where the dragonblood got its name. Dracæna cinnabari has adapted its unusual shape to battle the arid plains it has conquered. Its large crown is tightly packed to reduce evaporation and provide shelter to the easily dried out soil it sits in. This explains why you will often find several of them growing close together. These dragons work together, sheltering the seedlings from the scorching sun. The sap or blood that they excrete was highly prized by the people of the ancient Mediterranean, and its use as a medicine and dye never ceased. Unfortunately, these beasts are becoming threatened by overconsumption of their materials. They risk being the last of the dragons unless regeneration of their population is taken seriously. Number 7. Japanese maple tree. Take a step under the canopy of the Acer palmatum and gaze up at the network of vein-like branches set against deep crimson. The red emperor maple of Japan is internationally prized and has been cultivated by the people of the rising sun for centuries. Fully engineered for beauty and wonder, this species has over 1,000 varieties. Properties such as color, size, leaf shape and even scent have all been selected over the course of hundreds of years. A budding example of our capacity to construct the world around us, the Japanese maple tree has become synonymous with gardening for the sake of beauty. Bright red and ornate, these trees stick out in any cultivated green space. A reminder of generations of clever planning and contemplative foliage enjoyment. Number 6. The Dark Hedges, Northern Ireland. Your driveway might be rather pleasant. Perhaps you've got some gravel or a nice potted plant or two. The trek up to Grace Hill House in Northern Ireland is a little bit different. Planted by the Stuart family in the 18th century, these beech trees cut a haunting entrance to their Georgian mansion. Loved by photographers and ramblers alike, the Dark Hedges Passage is a well-known and recognizable landmark. It even featured in episode 1 of season 2 of HBO's Game of Thrones. The name Dark Hedges might seem an obvious call to its shady tunnel of hedge-like trees, but it may also have something to do with the supernatural. It is said that the Grey Lady is often seen meandering the avenue of branches and is even joined by the spirits of the nearby dead on Halloween every year. Number 5. Rainbow Eucalyptus trees, Maui, Hawaii. Take one look at the Eucalyptus diglupta and you'd be forgiven for assuming it had been vandalized. Unnaturally bright colors trickle its flowing trunk, which can reach a staggering 75 meters tall. It's as if the tree itself has reached up and pulled a rainbow from the sky. You can find these wonders in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and the Philippines. But Hawaii is where you want to go to find the most striking examples. There are over 700 types of eucalyptus trees, but this is one of the only 4 species that doesn't come from Australia. Its distinctive color stems from the fact that strips of its outer bark shed and mature unevenly. A unique chemical makeup causes the color of the bark to change dramatically as it matures, revealing strips of blue, purple, orange, and maroon. Think of this tree as a multicolored gobstopper, and you get the idea. Number 4. Crooked Forest, Poland. Like Soviet sickles erupting from the forest floor, the crooked forest of Kwidzyn in Poland has an air of the unnatural to it. What is most concerning is we still don't know exactly why these pine trees are shaped in such a way. Planted sometime in the early 1930s, this grove is located in Pomerania, which was at the time a German province. Each tree bends sharply northward before curving upwards and correcting itself after a roughly 3-meter bend. Although some people suggest that a snowstorm could have knocked these trees into this formation, much like those affected by the winds of Slope Point, this is unproven. Most likely, whoever planted these trees nearly 100 years ago used some kind of tool or technique to artificially engineer the shape. Some have speculated that artisan furniture makers started this project in the hopes of growing naturally curved timber. Given the time it takes to grow a tree and the turmoil coming to the region in the next decade, no conclusive evidence for what actually happened here has come up. What we find now is likely a relic of an abandoned attempt to play God. Number 3. Pando Tree. This is Pando, and he is the biggest tree in the world. Yes, this is all one tree that shares one enormous root system. One genetically individual living thing 106 acres large. Pando weighs 6,600 tons, which makes it the heaviest living thing in the galaxy that we know of. He's 80,000 years old and is made up of 40,000 stems. Each of these stems looks like its own individual tree. But of course, if they are all connected and share the same genetic information, they are one. Walking through what has been called the Trembling Giant Colony in Fish Lake National Park in Utah, you are effectively walking the scalp of a sleeping giant. Sadly, a lot of markers suggest that Pando is dying. Most likely due to human interference, Pando hasn't been growing for the past 30 to 40 years. Once again, our actions could be a determining factor in the death of a peaceful giant. Number 2. Bamboo. Bamboo is actually a type of grass, but it is the only type of grass big enough to become what is arguably a forest. The giant bamboo, or Bambusa oldamii, is the largest grass on Earth and can grow up to 20 meters tall. Forests of giant bamboo can be found all over the world today, but is native to East Asia, most predominantly China. The young shoots of the giant bamboo are crisp and have a sweet flavor, and alongside this, the fibers of the grass have been used in furniture making for generations. The stems, shoots, and leaves are the major food sources of both giant and red pandas, as well as the bamboo lemurs of Madagascar. Mountain gorillas of Central Africa also feed on bamboo and have been documented consuming bamboo sap, which was fermented and alcoholic. Walking through a bamboo forest, you are struck by the immensity of the perfectly straight blades. You are a bug walking through a garden lawn. Number 1. General Sherman, Sequoia National Park, California. Good old General Sherman is the largest single-stem tree in the world. Unlike Pando, General Sherman is independent of any other trees around him, towering 83.8 meters with a diameter of 7.7 meters. Named after the Civil War general William Tecumseh Sherman in 1879, It took till 1931 before it was identified as the largest tree in the world. Although it is the largest, it's not the tallest nor widest. Sherman wins out by sheer mass, as the volume of its enormous trunk is 1,487 meters cubed. It began to grow at some point between 700 and 300 BC, making this giant sequoia one of the oldest living things on the planet. Where's your nearest tree? Do you ever go to look at it? We recommend you do, and we also recommend you join the conversation in the comments. What tree on our list sparked your imagination the most? Leave us a like and subscribe for more content for your curiosity.
Wow.